So I take a big handful and I take our side that we got from a friend. Super nice side, super sharp. And it cuts really cleanly. And then I just put it under my arm. So there's this one colossal beet right here that is huge, and there's another right here.
Oh my god.
Colossal. Whoa, it's heavy. Oh, and there's another one even bigger right here.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, this is a mangle beet, and it hasn't been watered in a long time except for what we've had from rain. We've actually had a very wet fall, which has been delightful. So this guy kept growing even after we stopped watering, and it's been freezing most of the time at night. So what I do with these is I give these to the pigs, and then I cut them up and I dehydrate them for the goats, and every part is edible. The leaves are edible for us, the roots are edible for us, and then they're edible for everything else on the property. Now root crops like this I don't give to the rabbits because they've been in contact with soil and I don't want to give them parasites. But if I were to scrub them and peel them, I could give them to the rabbits too. They're high in sugar, so you have to kind of watch that. I think that our sow, our gilts that we butchered, we were giving them some pretty big amounts of beets, and I wonder if she got gout or maybe even diabetes from having too much sugar content in her food. So that's something to watch. Do your own research, but these are ours. We still have another 20-25 feet to go to keep harvesting these guys. So I'm gonna go take this into the baby pigs and also to the big pigs.
Did you need me in here for any other reason?
I'm gonna have you go get a batch of sawdust for these guys because we're getting muddy. Okay, quick, 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 quick. Alright, so I gave the pigs the little ones because it's easier for them to get their mouths around it. And I don't like to use the little ones for the dehydrating because I just get so much more bang for my buck.
I'll help you hold that one.
So something like this, I can grate it, I can chop up the greens, and there's a whole bunch of flesh inside there. And so I save these ones for family use. I use these ones in like stews. Yummy, yummy, yummy. If we buy pigs, we have the person who we buy them from worm them just before we pick them up. So they've been wormed just before we pick them up. And then once we get them here, we worm them again. And then we don't worm them again until we butcher them. We're trying to keep them from building up a parasite that's resistant. And as long as we keep them on good varied food and we don't have them in crowded, nasty conditions, they stay pretty good. No, 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 no. I just got them in the shot. Okay. All right. Okay, before they move, this is Ginger and Sugar, and they are our normal commercial pork. They are Duroc mixed with hemp, and they will only eat commercial feed. They're very selective, very picky about what else they'll eat. They'll kind of eat corn stalks, they'll kind of eat greens from the Swiss chard, but they don't want anything to do with the beets, and they don't want anything really to do with the acorn squash. They'll maybe eat the seeds out of it, but that's it. And little Miss Kyanite is like, I want Swiss chard. Can I have Swiss chard? Let's get her a clean one. The goats will eat the Swiss chard, but they're kind of picky about what constitutes like cleanliness. They don't want a lot of dirt on it. She's chomping at the bit. Do you want it? Is it too dirty for you? Oh, it's too dirty for you. She kind of wants it, but she's like, you got dirt on the leaves. That's not really my thing.
I can call over Pond.
Where is Melanie now?
So just that one batch. Ah, that's watered all the way over here. It has kind of nice milky bottom too.
All right, so I wormed these guys yesterday. We're butchering at least one of them on Saturday. So they need to have 72 hours of withdrawal time from the wormer. But what's really cool about these pigs is they're really wide through their shoulders and through their hips. We really need to butcher them ASAP because the bigger they get, the harder they are for us to manage moving them. Above 200 pounds, and it's really, really tricky for us to move these pigs and be able to butcher them efficiently. So we do tie down their feeders. Their previous feeder over there is tied, and it's an upright barrel. This is their swimming pool that usually has water in it for summer to keep them cool, and it is tied down too, but currently it's just their food because their shoulders can't fit through their other feeder anymore. Their heads can fit through to get water, but not their shoulders. Morning guys, so this is Tom and Thomasina. They are our American Guinea Hog and also our Julianne / American Guinea Hog pigs. It's raining today. We were going to try to scrape the pigs, but because it's raining and it's in the 40s, it's quite cold, and scraping is cold work already. It's wet and cold, hard to keep the water warm, and so we're just going to skin our first one. We're going to see how it tastes. We're going to give him some milk to keep his head still for a bit. We're going to give our sow, well, she's a gilt, she hasn't had babies yet. So we're going to have 2 containers, one for each pig, so that they're separate from each other. That way our gilt doesn't accidentally get hit. And then as soon as he's stunned and down, I go in and I cut his throat so he bleeds out quickly. We put him in the sled, we bring him here, we hang him up, and I get started. This guy is a Julianne crossed with an American Guinea Hog, and so he's more of a Chinese pig. He stopped twitching, so we're going to put him in the sled.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm really glad that I got him super quick.
Yeah, you did a great job,
At the
honey.
same time, I really
Are you
wish,
exhausted?
Well, no, I wish that Abraham would have gone down so quick.
Well, every butcher has a horror story of one time that they didn't get it right. I have my horror story, and so if you the best way to come at butchering is butcher something small, make sure it's fast, that they're killed fast, and then take your time with the butchering part. If you've done chickens, if you've done rabbits, pigs are the same way, except their skin is a little bit different, but as far as like getting the skin off, it's very similar. But start with something really small, and when you're doing something big like this, buy yourself time. Don't be in a hurry. Have food in the crock pot. Have a husband who's going to sit and chit chat with you, or go get you chocolate.
Yep.
Take it slow, take it easy. As long as they're not suffering, you have plenty of time. This is half of the bacon.
My fingers are getting so red.
And with any home butchery or even commercial butcher, you're going to have hair here and there. So we're just picking all the little last hairs off. What did you do?
What?
Oh, it looks like you hurt your foot.
No. So I have to be very careful of my foots. I know it's salt, but
All right, KG. Go walk it back out.
is there a prime number besides?
Make sure something heavy goes on it, okay?
Is there a number that is a prime number that is larger than 2 that can go in evenly to 144, but that isn't 12?
Because one's been processed and one hasn't.
Yeah. One's still in the brain bucket, the other's I like the orange flavor. I just barely put that one.
Ah, the mystery squash. Are you grabbing the zucchini too?
I grabbed about 3. I know Paige wants that big striped one for seed.
Okay.
Little wheelbarrow.
Good girl. Okay, you remember how to set these on newspapers on the floor of the pantry, right?
I thought we were gonna do it in the garage.
Is there floor space in the garage? I'd say do it in the pantry then. We go through them pretty fast.
We might just not have enough.
Just hold on. Come on, puppies.
Okay, drop it.
Just will drop them on the puppies. So what I'm doing this morning is putting, I think it's called lechon. I have a pig head I'm putting in the wood burning stove. I'm a little concerned that my pan is not deep enough and I'm going to have juices everywhere. But I wanted to show you what we're doing. This will be the first time we've done a pig head. I'm going to just roast it all day at the low temp that the wood stove gets to naturally. And we'll see how it turns out. The dogs are struggling with the fact that we have this perfectly good pig head on the counter, and we are not sharing with them yet. But as you can see, I am concerned that using just a cookie sheet, any meat is going to have drippings. So I'm kind of wondering if what I want to do is have a syringe, a baster here, so that I can go in and every couple hours just baste out, syringe out the juices so that it's not overflowing into the bottom of my wood burning stove. I have taken the tray off of the edges. Sorry, I have to stay back a bit because I got a lot of heat coming out. I took the tray off the ledges and put it on the bottom so that the snout of the pig is not touching the top of the oven. And it is warm enough that my camera is unhappy about it. So, this is a daily use stove. So some people get frustrated when they see that there's dirt or something on the wood burning stove. The thing is that burning wood is dirty. You get a lot of dust and little bits of wood that come in with it. So that is the nature of wood stoves. It is used every day. I have squash seeds. Sorry, I'll try to keep the heat off my camera. I have squash seeds that are drying here. This is not a hot spot. It's just a spot where the air flows through. I wouldn't put them here, and I wouldn't put them here. It would overheat them too much. But being right here on the propane attachment is just about right to dry them out. All right, there we go. I have covered it in saran wrap. I have pushed the ears down and into the head so that they're not over crisping. And we're just going to put it in. I don't know if I can show you that I'm putting it in. Let's see if I can show you. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm going to see if John can get me a turkey baster on the way home so that I can suck the juices out of the bottom every once in a while. And other than that, I just need to keep the door shut and keep the fire going lightly so it doesn't get too hot. It's supposed to be somewhere between 180 and 250 for the pig head to cook all day. So don't want to let it get too hot. Don't want to let it go out. For breakfast, Kite is drinking goat's milk. Well, it's our second breakfast, huh? I've already fed them breakfast. After they've been out in single degree weather, they are chilled and need a second breakfast. So this is from the head of a pig, and it does still have the skin intact. I did scrape it and we roasted it, and so they're going to eat something really nice and fatty before we move on to the next part of our project, huh? In order for a wood stove to be very effective, you need to have a way of moving the heat through your house. So we leave the oven door open so that there's heat moving, not trapped in the oven. All the heat from the oven comes out. And we put fans strategically through the house to push the heat. And when your stove is going as much as ours does, it does collect a lot of dust. Because when you're burning, you bring in wood, it has dust, it has little wood particles on it. And so I need to wipe this down. It doesn't matter how often I wipe it, it collects dust pretty quickly. But it does make...
This is so good.
Yeah, it turned out good, huh?
Yeah.
So the cartilage underneath the skin is really good for you. The skin is good for you. It tastes different than normal pork when you leave the layers all intact.
The cartilage is actually the best part.
It is. It's the best part. It's super chewy, but not greasy. It doesn't have that grease feel to it.